Hello, I'm Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes. Thank you for volunteering to be a precinct election officer. Your service and commitment are vital to the democratic process. This video is a helpful training tool to ensure that all Kentuckians are able to vote independently and privately on Election Day.
Thank you.
We couldn't exercise our right
to vote without you.
How many of these voters have disabilities? Would you be surprised to know that 6 out of 8 of us have a disability? In fact, there are over 800,000 Kentuckians with disabilities. Sometimes you can tell if someone has a disability while other times you can't. You probably encounter many people in your daily life with disabilities, but may not know it. So how do you know if a voter needs assistance or to use an accessible machine? Here are some suggestions. Treat everyone the same way. Have good eye contact. Look at the person when talking to him or her. Offer every voter all options, the accessible machine, paper ballot, etc. Remember, anyone, including people without disabilities, may use the accessible machine. Tell the voter that you would be happy to help if assistance is needed. Relax and smile. Let's see what happens with Sam, a first-time voter.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I've never voted before.
Do you have a photo ID or a social security card or a credit card?
I have my student ID.
Great, that works because it has your picture and your signature. Let's see. There you are. Please sign right there. Your ID. Great. You've got the option of voting with a paper ballot using the scanner, or you can use the accessible machine.
Accessible machine? What's that?
It's a machine that was designed to help voters with disabilities be able to vote on their own. Anyone can use it, though. We'd be glad to show you how.
Okay, cool.
Kay will be happy to help you.
Okay.
Come on down here and get your number for you.
This is your access code that you'll have to enter into the machine.
Thanks to the patient election officers, it looks like Sam is having a great first-time voting experience. Here are some more tips for interacting with voters who have disabilities. Always ask the voter if he or she needs assistance before providing it. Sometimes well-meaning actions actually make things harder for a person with a disability. Use person-first language. For example, I am a woman with multiple physical disabilities, but I'm also a professional, a mother, and a friend. So I am much more than my diagnosis. Always speak directly to the voter, even if the person brings an assistant with him or her. There are many types of disabilities, too many actually to mention in this video. We'll highlight a few and show what you may be able to do to help make the voting process go smoothly for folks. Let's see what happens with Melisha.
Hello.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning.
Do you have an identification? Okay, can I have the whiteboard? Thank you. Can we get a paper ballot, please?
Sometimes not being able to speak the same language as the voter can make you nervous. Here are some tips that may help you. Write down questions or instructions. You can use a whiteboard or pen and paper. Keep your questions and instructions simple. Remember that American Sign Language isn't English. Pre-printed items. You may want to have things that you say often pre-printed to help save time. It's also a good idea to have pre-printed instructions on how to operate the machine so all voters, not just those who are deaf or hard of hearing, may read them. Another sensory disability is blindness or low vision. Here's what happens with Pascal.
Hi, Pascal. It's Carol. How are you?
I'm blessed.
This is a great privilege to do this. Did you know that over 1 million of our brothers and sisters have died in the field of battle so that we can have this privilege today? I bet you didn't know that.
We are blessed.
Yes, we are.
And I have found your name here and put a signature guide. This is where you need to sign.
Remember, if the election officer knows the voter by personal acquaintance, no further identification is needed.
Would you prefer the accessible machine or the paper ballot? Accessible machine has headphones and stuff. And
That sounds good for me.
does that sound like you want
Yes,
to do?
that sounds good for
Okay.
me. All right.
Would you like an election officer to help you to the machine?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
yes, please.
Scott here will help you to the machine.
And here's your access code.
All right.
Here you go, Pascal.
All right.
Thanks to the headphones, Pascal is able to vote independently and privately. Remember, when voters use an audio ballot, they are not limited to the regular 2-minute time frame allowed for voting. Another type of disability is intellectual disability. Sometimes the right to vote for people who have this disability has been challenged, solely based upon diagnosis. Remember, unless a person's right to vote has been removed due to a felony conviction or during a guardianship proceeding, he or she has the right to vote. Let's watch what happens with Paul.
I hear that vote.
Gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't quite understand what you said.
Can I hear that vote?
He said that he is here to vote.
Okay, may I please see your ID?
When you don't understand someone's speech, it's okay to ask the person to repeat him or herself, or ask him to write it down. It's also important that the poll worker spoke directly to Paul, because he is the voter. We also need to remember that not all people with intellectual disabilities have speech impairments. Likewise, not all people with speech impairments have intellectual disabilities. The Americans with Disabilities Act and the Help America Vote Act indicate that polling places must be accessible. What exactly does that mean? There must be an accessible route to the polling place entrance. This means that there shouldn't be any gravel, steps, or any other barriers that aren't resolved without at least temporary solutions. This also means that there must be signage that clearly indicates the route to the accessible entrance. There must be an accessible entrance. This means that if a voter has to go through a door, a person should be able to go through it without assistance. There must be accessible parking that should be wide enough to accommodate a van with a lift. The route to the sign-in table and machine should be barrier-free. The machine lowered if a person needs it. Oh yeah, the accessible machine should be set up before the polls open, and the precinct officers should be educated on how to use it and when to offer assistance. The purpose of this video is to familiarize you with common accessibility issues. Like voters, every polling place is different. If you have questions or know of an issue, please talk with your county clerk. For more information on interacting with voters who have disabilities, please consult the Tips for Interacting with Voters Who Have Disabilities section of your Precinct Election Officer Quick Reference Guide. Your county clerk, the State Board of Elections, Protection and Advocacy, or the Kentucky Americans with Disabilities Act Coordinator. Thank you for watching, and thanks again for helping all of Kentucky voters exercise their rights.
Our election process works best when everyone participates. And as Secretary of State, I'm committed to protecting the right to vote for all eligible Kentuckians. If you have questions about the information in this video, please visit our website at sos.ky.gov and Protection and Advocacy's website. Thank you again for your help.